Hello, I am Brenton Ratcliffe, and I'm introducing what the avoiding style of conflict management is, and it has influenced my life and what I did to change that sort of behavior through my life experiences. According to the chapter, the avoiding style of conflict management often indicates a low concern of self or for self and low concern for others, and no direct communication about the conflict that takes place. Avoiding is an unassertive and an uncooperative technique. Avoiding ought to be used when the relationship will mean little to the party using it. This is so because the technique will neglect the interests of both parties. It is also an avoidance of emotional conflict. The style can be used when the issue is not as important as the relationship, or if there's limited time or resources available. Basically, the way that avoidance is used in the conversation is through joking or hinting. I was especially guilty of this. It is a way to vent without completely opening up and allowing us to release pent-up anger. But we also assume that the person or people we are speaking to can decode the joke. Frustration then starts to build up, and then it builds to passive-aggressive behavior. Passive-aggressive behavior is a way of dealing with conflict in which one person indirectly communicates their negative thoughts or feelings through nonverbal behaviors, such as compiling a task. In my case, I had a feud with some of my old roommates, and I was the one that had to collect the money for the electricity bill. Since they didn't pay me on time, most of the time, most of the money came out of my pocket. So in retaliation, I would always take light bulbs from the living room or turn off the AC in the night, and instead of clearly communicating, I was displaying my frustration through passive-aggressive behaviors to get my point across. I guess to reiterate, the feelings going through my head when some of this stuff was happening is indescribable. It honestly feels like you just got hit with a ton of bricks in the stomach, and it leaves a residual feeling that kind of sticks with you for a long time. It's painful until you start to take some sort of retribution. And for my roommates, basically it's just to take justice for their past transgressions. However, once you start to hear them yelling across the room, or once you start to touch the light bulbs, an overwhelming feeling of accomplishment and justice rushes over you, and you forget about that pain residing in your stomach for a while. I infer that over time I realized that the bad feeling in my stomach wouldn't go away unless I did something. So over time, instead of using passive-aggressive behavior, I started to talk and be more vocal with people that made me feel that way. Eventually, that changed my whole conflict style from avoidance to collaborating. If I could make another educated guess to why I started to change, is because I was out of my parents' house. I didn't really get an opinion in the way some things happen at home, and I guess it carried into my personality all the way to the beginning of college. And in conclusion, I learned that you can't run away from communicating with others, no matter how hard you try. And I also learned that it's difficult to change a big aspect of your own personality. Self-loathing and pity were always there because of bullying or some other causes. Someone that wants to change must want it themselves, and even then, sometimes you can still slip up and fall into that behavior, and that was a characteristic to you before you changed. It takes time to adapt and grow into a person you wish to be, and that's fine. Another step is, talking and getting out of your comfort zone and utilizing steps that can help your communication skills with time. In the end, avoidance from some people might be beneficial at times, but I've found in my own personal experience that I was missing out on a lot of life by just having that mindset. Thank you for your time.